Hello from GearBest.com. This is Mark Josie. Today will be a little test and little video talking about some strike bezels with flashlight being sharpened and the difference between those bezels versus a piece of wood and box and stuff like that, and telling you my personal experience with these things. So let's take a look at the flashlight today. We have 3 flashlight bezels that I basically think is worth sharpening. So when you choose to sharpen a flashlight bezel, you want some nice metal on these things and the bezel to be secured to the light nicely. As you can see, these are all stainless steel bezel and they are pretty much made out of the same kind of stainless steel. Yeah, so you cannot expect them to be like a knife kind of hardness. They are not that tough. You know, sometimes they can be tough, you know, if you hit the skin and such, but they might be not as tough as a knife and something like that you can hit on a brick. So have I chipped one of these yet? Well, basically I didn't, but one of these, the long ones, I find that it's more fragile sometimes because of the extra length. So when I was really smacking it on a bottle, the one of these fangs were like curled. Yeah, it's not broken, but it's curled. So not a good idea to really smash with a very long bezel. Now these will be very useful on human, of course, because you get a lot of, see, you can do a much larger damage if this is like this is sharpened. So if you go here and scrape all the way in, you can imagine that kind of pain on the flesh. Now with these standard ones, of course, if you go like that, it's going to scrape, but it's not going to really like dig up a big piece of meat. Now these ones are smaller, but they are about the same, you see. Okay, now these are sharpened. How do you sharpen them? Well, this is the first kind of video on YouTube about these, but you get a file like this. This is a file, steel file. So basically what you do is you take this ring, the bezel off, and then you put it inside. Maybe I should demonstrate with one. Okay, so oops, let me take one. I take this off. Okay. What you want to do is go on an angle like this. Okay, like this, and now you can sharpen like that. Okay, keep doing it, like really put some force, you know, and then you can see an edge going, and then with your eyes look at the edge to see if that edge is disappeared. If it disappeared, it's good to go. Okay, so you can basically almost feel that edge with your hand too. It's not going to be like a paper cutting edge, but at least it's sharp, and it's going to do some damage when you hit something. Okay, so these are the sharpened bezel. I have one, the HaikeLite M22 where we are here with the standard bezel. Now these one, I'm not sure if you can really sharpen them, but they seem to have a very large edge on it. Okay, very thick edge. You see how thick this is? Okay, so it's kind of harder to sharpen. Maybe not a good idea to sharpen too. Now I got a piece of wood here. Okay, let me just take this piece of wood. Maybe put it on a chair. Okay, there we go. Let me do a smash here and see what happened. Okay, put the light on. Okay, I did 2 hits. Now this one basically dented the wood nicely, like this. Okay, dented it nicely. It went in pretty easily too. Okay. Now HaikeLite on HaikeLite. We got an HaikeLite M20. HaikeLite M20 SX, okay, the new version with sharpened bezel. Let's see what happened right here. Now I can feel that there's less resistance. The bezel is intact. Now this is the edge of this one. You can see it's smaller in the size, that cut. Okay, basically because of the thinner edge. When I bang into it, I can feel that myself, that it cuts in easier and I feel less resistant. So that means if you're really going into something, you will feel that it's easier to bang into the target or cut into the target, while that one gives you the resistance. Now the one problem is when it gives you resistance, when you smash, you feel something is bouncing you back. So you eat some of that force, okay? Now this is the fang bezel. Now we'll flip this over. I'm turning the light on just because I want to make sure that it can withstand the impact and also not fail, okay? Whoa, that was a scary cut. Let's try again. Okay, I'm just trying to like go mild. Now that's just the chorus. Now this one, besides just feeling that cut right here, I can, when I scrape it right here, I can feel the wood kind of curved out. So right here, that's a big difference with the long bezel. It seems to cut in, and then when I pull it out or something, it just kind of want to curl the wood out. So that's a very big difference. Now this is the Lumens Top TD16. Just sharpened this last night actually. Okay, now I'm gonna hit right here on the letters. Ready? And wow, that was a nice hit. Ooh. To my surprise, the Lumens Top TD16 actually hit the best so far with that bezel. You can see that long mark. It curved all the way. It means that it cut from here and also cut so deep that the other side also shows up. Now that is scary. Okay, from this test, something new and unexpected happened, which is when I try to cut into the wood with the not so scary looking but kind of large bezel from the TD16X from Lumens Top. It actually cuts better than the long fang bezel. Wow. Now it's just, this bezel is kind of so very secure inside too. Okay, let me take a box and let's try. There's a piece of foam inside, I believe. Now this is the one without the sharpened bezel. Okay, so this is the HaikeLite M22. Let's try M22. Yeah, it bangs in quite nicely, as you can see. And there's also a piece of foam inside that got cut. Well, we'll take a look at that later on, maybe. Oh, it did cut quite well. Wait, okay, here. There's a piece of foam here. Styrofoam, let's see. It did cut through that piece of styrofoam. So even without the sharpened bezel, it's doing a very nice job. Okay, next one. HaikeLite M20SX. Okay, try to hit closer to here. Now with the same force, about the same force, this thing went right in and it started to cut into the styrofoam, and I can feel that there's a lot of like teeth mark around this right here inside. We'll take that out later and check it out, but yeah. So the difference is this one, you feel that it goes in like a rod going in, and this one it cuts when it go in. Okay, next one, the fang bezel. The fang, oops, bezels. Okay, so this is the fang one. Chorus XT 11S. Click on the light. Now this one is, to my surprise, did not penetrate all the way in. It just cut in. You see. Now with the shorter one, the whole light just slammed in. Not sure why this thing didn't go. Is it the spot maybe? It is. The styrofoam here is kind of blocking. And this one, it went in all the way like that. Okay. So I think it's just the part of the box that is doing the trick. Because this one, there's more hollow space. Okay. Okay. Let's check the blunt one. Okay. Again, right here. Ah, okay, so you see the blunt one, I can't even cut in. See, there's no hole here. It just dented it. So basically, it's a big difference. Now, this is the best one so far, Lumens Top TD16. Let me try around here and see if it works, okay? Okay, it basically cut, but it didn't cut as deep as the chorus. Yeah, you can see it cuts. Okay, it opens up the box, but it didn't really cut in like the chorus. HaikeLite M20SX. Let's try this side. Ooh, this one cuts quite well. it cuts well, but it didn't go all the way in. Okay, let me try to slant an angle. Oh, it eats into it. Okay, you can see. So the HaikeLite with a smaller diameter head actually eats into it better. Ouch, very dusty here. Okay, put the box up. What's inside? A piece of foam. Okay, so as you can see, this is the meat inside. No wonder the first few strikes were kind of easier because we were cutting here the first time and there's nothing to back it up. Now, cutting at the top right here, only the Clarus XT11SX shows the teeth mark. The other spot right here, basically it's all a dent and it's quite less lethal actually. This is the HaikeLite M20SX, and not sure if you can see it, but it's actually okay and pretty well done. But the scariest one is the Clarus 11SX, which is the teeth bezel, the fang one. Now let's try like this. Now without the box, without the cardboard, it makes it much easier to slam through. Okay, now that's a big mess to clean up. But anyway, as you can see, why we want a fang bezel? Because it actually cuts beyond what you're trying to hit. So imagine this going here or here. It actually cuts in and will tear maybe a piece of flesh out or something like that. Now the other one also cuts. It will make you bleed, but it will not get stuck in you. Okay. Now if you actually think about it, these things go here and scrape all the way. Now that's pretty scary, right? So these things are, yeah, they're good for bleeding. Now this one actually cut the piece of meat out, so it's different style. Now to my surprise today, that the HaikeLite M20SX is actually pretty good actually. With the smaller diameter, it actually has better penetration than the bigger diameter head, so pretty cool. And also this M22 Warrior, if you are actually trying to break glass or whatever with this thing, it's not going to work, let me tell you. Okay, I've tried breaking bottles and it's like much harder than you think with these things. So manufacturers say you can use it as an emergency to break windows and stuff. Does it really work? Well, I don't have a window here to break, but breaking glass bottle is pretty much like all the time they will fail on you. Like it won't break a glass bottle. So really hard to break unless the glass bottle is really sucky. So yeah, I was trying to break some hard liquor bottle, beer bottle, and it doesn't work. Okay, now this kind of thing, it's not going to make you bleed. Okay, this kind of blunt bezel, it's not going to make you bleed, as we can see from this little informal test. So it's not going to make you bleed. It's going to hurt a lot. It's going to like crush bones. Okay, imagine like your back of the palm gets smashed by these little ridges. It will really go, ooh, painful. Now if the same spot being smashed by these sharpened bezel on the ridges, it's going to cut into the nerves and stuff. So it's a very different effect. Now depending on what you want to do, less lethal or more lethal, less bloody or more bloody, you know, that's your choice. Okay, sometimes more pain will give people a more like it has more stopping power. You know, the pain just make you want to stop. The blood sometimes, you know, you just cut in and take it out because it's so fast. It doesn't really make you feel that in the intense moment. So maybe they're bleeding and bleeding, but they don't feel or notice that they're bleeding. Maybe, okay, not sure. But usually when you get cut in a very intense situation by a knife, you don't really feel that right away because you're so intense with your action. But if you're giving them pain, that may actually stop them better. So which one is better? Well, that depends on you guys. So leave it up to you guys to decide and discuss. Okay, so comment below and tell me what you think, which is better, you know, to sharpen or not to sharpen the bezel, to give more pain or more blood. Okay, that's your choice. For a EDC self-defense thing, for the sake of your pocket, you know, you want something not so sharp. So if you have a very sharpened or very long bezel like this, it's definitely not good for the pocket. But you know, if you have a holster like these, to get a hard shell holster, you can pretty much secure the bezel inside and it's not going to really damage your pants or whatever, so that's fine. Basically that's my little short video and try to discuss this with you guys. So if you have any of your own thoughts or whatever, you know, just share it out here and see which one you think is better for EDC and why. And there you go. Share the video out and tell more friends to come and start the discussion. Okay, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and like. Bye bye.